I'm Brenda Nassali-Liston, and my business is Inform Pilates. So I'm based in London, in southeast London, for those of you that know that area. Hey Zoe. And yeah, I'm a mat Pilates teacher. I've been teaching for about 3 years in London, and then obviously have done the whole pivot and change, and now teaching online and in person.
Okay, nice. So where did the name Inform Pilates come from?
Okay, interesting. So Inform comes just from my inner nerd, seriously, because I'm really informed. I'm fed by information. I'm just one of those things that can take any subject and like drill down the hole to get more and more information out of it. So I like the idea of that with Pilates, you're informing your body, which is why my tagline is Inform Your Body. And as a byproduct, you're also getting your body in form. So that's just to buy.
Oh, double entendre. Look at you.
Double entendre.
Yes.
I feel like not many people get that informed bit, and I'm fine with that. It's all about informing your body, informing your brain. Yeah, for a whole body experience.
Very nice. I love that. Now,
Thank
there's
you.
so much of a trend right now with that inform part, right? Like body image, body positivity, all those different things. Do you have a voice in that realm as to say you don't have to look this way, you could just look this way? Like, do you have a position on that?
I absolutely do. I love the new, I love the way that it's going kind of across the board. People are coming against the stereotypical, Pilates body, and I'm seeing people posting different body sizes. It's so good to see that. Although I haven't taken a particular stand on it, I'm always of the opinion that if you do Pilates, you have a Pilates body. Pilates is for everybody, and that's where I stand on that, really.
Yes.
It's the method is applicable to so many different body types, and it's adaptable, isn't it? So it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
If you walk into the room, you can do something with them.
Yes. And that was kind of like my reflection from last night too, where I'm in a room where people have never heard of Pilates before.
Oh, seriously?
Yes.
So they'd heard of fitness and kind of gym work, but not Pilates?
Not Pilates.
Wow. Wow.
How often are you in a room where people have not heard about what you do?
Not very often these days, really. But then I'm in a room with people who generally are there to do Pilates. But even if I'm at a party, or not these days, but when I was at parties and people would say, "What do you do?" I'm a Pilates teacher. They would know what that means.
Right.
So it's quite unusual. Yeah.
So the questions last night were like, if I have a C-section, can I do Pilates?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Did you have an answer for that, Martin?
Yes. Because I think, and it was in similar. Another lady said, through COVID-19, I haven't moved at all. Can I do Pilates if I've never exercised before? Like, you know what I mean? Like those are the kind of questions. Like, is Pilates for me? Is the question that really summarizes the question? Is Pilates for me?
Yeah.
So
I think that, yeah.
Please go.
I was going to say that maybe comes out of the, the general thing that people post to advertise and make themselves look like they're a Pilates person, is you're in a teaser position, which to your everyday person, that maybe looks unattainable. And so they wonder if they can come in, just walk in off the street and do Pilates, but they don't see all the build-up exercises to get up to teaser, right?
Exactly. And if you look at a lot of the archival pictures of Joseph Pilates too, we have to admit those are kind of intimidating. Like, here's a picture of Joseph Pilates at 57. Oh, here's a picture of him at 82. He's still ripped.
Yeah.
Right? So, when
Very
we start
true.
there, that's when people are like, I have a question.
Yeah, very true. Definitely. He's doing all sorts of things at every age, isn't he? You see him in a roll up and roll over, and yeah.
I put there's a controlled balance picture where he's lying and holding on one foot way up in the air, and I was like, well, we're gonna do this exercise today, and everyone kind of freezes. I'm like, just kidding. Actually. So when we say that, what do we say? Pilates is for everybody. Like, in your terms, what does that mean?
I just mean if you have a body, you can do Pilates. It's so simple. I can't even expand on that much more than
Right.
anyone can walk in and do Pilates, even if you had an injury, or if you feel like you're an older person that maybe the intermediate advanced exercises aren't available to you, then the basic mat exercises are available to you.
Yes.
And actually, this is interesting because I think a lot of American teachers have done the comprehensive,
Yes.
and so you have all the studio equipment available to bring the exercises down and maybe adapt the mat exercises. Whereas I'm only mat trained for now. I do want to go ahead and train and do studio equipment, but I really have to bring everything back down to the mat, or maybe take it to a chair to adapt for people who can't do the full on mat. But I always have something that I can say, okay, if you can't do that exercise, then let's look at bringing it here.
Yes.
And still keeping it available and adaptable to them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that really is the essence of our teaching, is to say, well, where can you do this exercise?
Yes. Yeah. Right.
And so truly it is for everybody. And I'm still on the informed Pilates piece in terms of like learning about our body and understanding what it can do, muscle imbalances. There's so many ways that you can look at that, right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, about 2 years ago, maybe it's coming on 2.5 years now, I had a full Achilles tendon rupture. I was at a dance rehearsal. I did a move that went backwards to step forwards, and then as I went to take another step onto that foot, my whole body weight gave way. And I thought, oh, I've sprained an ankle or something, but realized that I'd completely torn my Achilles when I went into A&E the next day. And that was a real leveling ground for me, because I don't know if anyone out there has experienced an Achilles tendon injury, but you literally can't put any weight on that foot. You can't do anything on that foot. You can't stand up. And I had to rebuild and learn to walk, to stand, and all of those basic things from that injury. And I feel like that really informed my teaching from then, to know that I was lucky enough to be a qualified mat teacher at the time. So I could use the exercises and adapt. You know, I can't put my weight on my right foot, but I can get down and onto high kneeling, and I can do a Pilates squat in high kneeling, and I can do 4-point, quadruped exercises and still get the hip extension, and, work on the muscles where my hands and my arms were getting really, kind of jacked up from being on crutches all day. And so I mean, that really taught me, and I take that through now into my clients to say there's nothing that you can't work with. There's always one part of the body in Pilates you can isolate and work on that when another part isn't ready to work with yet.
Right.
As well as it being a whole body discipline, which it absolutely is, you can definitely isolate out and work on areas that you need to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know if you've had an injury like that, Martin, and had to work back from
yes.
it.
No,
as a teacher.
No, injury-wise, no. Unfortunately, I haven't. Aligned Pilates here 24 years later and still working through it. Thank goodness for Pilates.
Wow. Is that an Achilles tendon for aligned Pilates, I wonder? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's always slightly there, and there's a mindset thing where you have to tell yourself that you can still do stuff on that. It took me the longest time to come back and try and do a jump on one foot on that side and not feel like I'm going to re-rupture. Oh. There's a whole mindset side, yeah.
Yeah. So
okay,
dancing background?
Dancing background, yeah. So I was trained as a contemporary dancer and worked for about five odd years freelancing and on the audition circuit. And then I decided to retrain and went into the hip hop side. So now I would call myself a hip hop dancer with contemporary background.
Okay. Nice.
As well as a Pilates teacher, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool. And when we're saying about like what you're saying about understanding how to work around those exercises, how to work around those injuries and go to a quadruped, there's a sense of really educating our clients so that they understand how their body works. Like it's not just us being educated to give it to them. Yeah. It's like teaching them to listen to their own bodies, right? So I really enjoyed that part of the work as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, when they can take ownership and know that they can make decisions for themselves and they can tweak things. I love it when you've been working with someone long enough that now they feel like they can self-correct and they can make
Yes.
adjustments. I had a conversation with a client on Saturday. She was saying just that she's been doing it long enough and now she's getting sensations in her body that she didn't know before. You know, she hadn't felt part of her body before, and now she can really feel how cute element of teaching. So
Mhm.
having someone that's gone through and they can self-adjust it kind of makes my job a little bit easier.
Yes, exactly. It does, right? Because then they're just getting deeper in it. And do you ever feel like you have to change the exercises and almost entertain your clients, or do you find that they can get deeper within the work, trying to figure it out for themselves?
A bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Um, recently I was working with one of my private clients and we were just doing single leg stretch.
Mhm.
So drawing
Gotcha.
one knee, bending the other leg away, and you're in that curled up position. And she just felt like she was working super hard in it. So I got her to get a ball and just pass it behind the knee, almost like a basketball, like passing back and forth
Yes.
behind. And just that thing of adding a fun element, taking the mind off it. When she came out of the exercise, I said, well, did it feel as hard as it did before? And she was like, no, that felt a lot better.
Yes.
I do like bringing in every now and again little things to just switch the brain somewhere else and distract in a good way.
Yes. Good strategies. Good stuff. How's everyone doing? Just looking here at Troy McCarty. Plies just
Yeah,
showed
just
up.
very
Lisa
high.
Reed. Hope everybody's doing well.
I see Esther on there as well, if you're still there. Hi, Esther. You're a friend of mine from Brazil.
Oh, nice. Well, hey, Magda. One of the questions that you said earlier,
Hey, Sonia.
and there's Sonia. Let's talk about Sonia for a
What's up?
our
Sonia is the
our
grand teacher.
our group, right? Our Black Girl Pilates group. Um,
Yeah.
it's just amazing bunch of ladies, and how supportive you guys are of one another. So I really love that. How did you get connected with them?
I maybe about 2 years,
Okay.
and I'm a member of an organisation called Body Control Pilates in the UK here.
Okay.
And I was kind of looking around and I didn't see that many other black teachers, and I wanted to find a bit of a network of other teachers like myself who would maybe found the experience in their training that they didn't see many other black teachers, and we, you know, to be able to talk about those things that maybe we only experience in the industry. And
Yes.
I'm trying to think about where I first came across. I think I went through all the socials, maybe typing out black teachers, you know, on Facebook, on Instagram, and then I came across Sonia, found the group, and realised that there were about 300-400 teachers on her group that she had
Yes.
cultivated,
Crazy, eh?
including a
That many?
couple in the UK and some in the organisation that I am associated with as well. And it felt so good to find them and know that there's a safe place that we have to be able to talk through the stuff. Yeah, and just feel like you're not out there on your own, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say is something unique to you as a black female Pilates instructor that you felt company and comfort in speaking with these ladies about?
Oh wow, what's unique to me? I don't know if it's unique to me. If anything, the comfort that I felt in speaking to the ladies in Black Girl Pilates is the things that we shared in common. The experience of maybe walking into a room and somebody being surprised to see you there,
Yeah.
or them having spoken to you on the phone about a meeting, and then you're going there and then maybe they didn't realize you were black. Maybe they thought you didn't sound black, and then you turn up in the room, or just even that everyday experience of being in workshops and in classes and being the only black body. I think we have a lot of that shared experience. One of the things I've really gained as well is just that conversation and being able to name those things that you maybe experienced but didn't have a name for. So like microaggressions, certain comments that people have made that you thought, oh, that didn't sit very well with me, but I don't know why. And then you realize it's because it was a microaggression. And having those conversations helped to to have the words for yourself to be able to describe what that is when it's happening.
Yes. I think the word is validating.
Validating?
Yeah. In the sense,
say more.
Well, I think, because what it is like, you know that you're doing good work. You know that you see your clients, they're responding and telling you that the class was good. They're noticing different things, or that they're finding things in their body. So like, you're a good teacher. You know you're a good teacher, but then when you walk out there, you don't see more people like yourself.
Right.
And then you find this group of other people who are doing the same thing as you, and you're like, they're really good. I'm really good too. Like, we're all doing good stuff. So it kind of validates your position in this world.
Definitely. I feel you now. Yeah, exactly. It's validating. It's soul lifting. And I really felt that at Brink this weekend as well, seeing all those panel members. It's like they obviously have so much experience and wisdom to bring, but they're not usually at conference, and you don't hear that. But seeing them all bringing it like they did this weekend, including you, I really enjoyed your session as well, Martin, at the weekend. Again, was just so validating, and I just had a real glow of pride about that, about seeing you guys, head to head with everyone else that's a seasoned presenter at these conferences.
Thank you. Yeah, that feels good to hear, because like, you go into those situations and you're just presenting, like, it's not like I was just presenting black content. I'm presenting content
that's good for everyone.
That's good for everyone. But because of this, the color of our skin, you don't often get a chance to go in that room and present that general content from your lens. And people are missing out, And people are missing out.
And I feel like maybe they didn't even know they were missing out, but maybe some people at Brink that heard from you guys, now they're like, okay, wow, there's these guys are awesome. And where have they been? Where are they now? There's more out there as well. You just heard like a microcosm of the talent and wisdom that's out there, right?
Absolutely. And that was Tasha Edwards' comment too, right? Like, she's had the same message for 20 years.
Wow.
For 20 years.
Tasha blew my mind. She was unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, and what was one of the takeaways from, like, her she's so real, and like, it's just such real talk. But what was one of the things that resonated that she said for you, or concept?
Like her vulnerability and her honesty. She just brought herself 100%. But someone says, Tasha, yes, she was awesome. But one of the things that I took away was, she just asked the question, what if you just let your client be? What would that look like? Because we're always super spoon feeding our clients, all we can do, and giving lots of cues. And it's from a place of knowledge, a place of love and wanting to help them. Yes. But what if you just let them be, and maybe they will discover something for themselves? Right. I love that question.
That's such a good question. I hear that question almost as a parent more than as a teacher.
Right? Oh my gosh, even more so as a parent. Yeah, we always feel like we have to be herding and guiding and making sure. It's hard to let go.
Right. But our kids
and let them make decisions.
Right. But they do. Like, I mean, the times I've had to, like, there's situations where you have no choice but to let your kids go and do things. I'm pleasantly surprised to see them step up and actually be responsible or be a leader or do whatever it is that, like, you hope that you've invested enough in that they could do it on their own, and now is their testing ground.
I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. My kids are quite young still. I think you've got some growing up. I've got 2 girls who are 5 and 8.
Okay.
So I feel like Ava, who's the 8-year-old, she's just starting to get to that point where you can see her, spreading her wings a little bit, making choices for herself. Yes. But she still feels so young, so you wanna hold on to her and make sure you're guiding.
Yes. Yes, exactly. So there's so much like parallel learning that we still have as parents and as teachers in this Pilates world, where we have to at some point just be like, okay,
There's
okay.
definite crossover. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels good. It feels good when you let your clients go a little bit and let them make mistakes. It's fine to make mistakes in a Pilates environment.
Well,
You can
yeah.
make mistakes, come back, you know.
Yep.
It's not, what did I see the other day? Someone said it's not about perfection, it's about wholeness. You know,
Yes.
just being present in the space is much more valuable to me as a teacher than trying to be perfect. Because actually you can get really stiff when that goes back to Tasha as well. She was talking about perfectionism, right? But yeah, trying to be perfect can bring in so many other things that actually are detrimental to the practice rather than.
Man, yeah, perfection makes us paralyzed. You just can't flow the way that you'd want to. I love what you said about mistakes too, because like I think about my boys, and the older of the two is just turned 18, and the younger
I
one
saw that post
is 14.
recently.
Yeah, so the 14-year-old is fearless, and like he's taught himself how to do backflips and all these different things. And my wife now cringes when she sees him like go on the field and do like all these things because she thinks he's gonna land on his neck or something. But the thing though that ties into our Pilates practice is the fact that he has been taught how to fall.
Yes.
It's not just, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not just that he's learned how to do a perfect backflip. He's also learned how to bail out so he doesn't hurt himself.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. What happens? Yeah, exactly. What happens when you fall? You learn how to adapt to that. Yeah.
How many times
Sorry, say that again.
I was just saying, like, how many times do we set our clients up to fall, right? Like, how do we set them up in ways that they could do something and, hey, this can, like, blow up in your face completely, but go for it. Like,
actually, I feel that way about rolling like a ball. It's one of my favorite exercises because even if you have a super serious room, at the point that you get to rolling like a ball, it's like everyone gets their silly side on and it's like, okay, just do your best, feel like a kid again, go into rolling like a ball, try and find that balance point. I feel like it's a really good leveling exercise and
yes,
it always brings a smile.
It's so funny. My son just came on here, actually, that Nation 14. Nate, we were just talking about your backflips and learning how to bail on a flip.
And my eldest is very much like your son. She's fearless and we have a pull-up bar in our kitchen. She does the craziest things on it. She inspires me to kind of try different things on there just by watching her. You know, yeah. When you have that edge of, what happens if I do this? And maybe I can swing my leg up that way.
Yes.
you end up going further, and I think we can do that. We can bring that into the studio.
Absolutely. That's like a higher level conversation about adventure and us as adults being so jaded by our life experience that we don't want to try stuff anymore.
Yes, and bringing back that element of play, allowing yourself to be silly, to play, to get things wrong, you know? Yeah.
Kids are the best
teachers. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, and Pilates talks about that.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, and Return to Life, he did talk about that, like the importance of play. Go outside and get some fresh air. And it wasn't just about go on the reformer and do your hundreds. It was about go live your life, go play, go find that adventure. Yeah,
it was. Yeah, he really was about what Pilates gives you back into your life. And Kira Lamb, going back to conference, I got so much out of Kira Lamb's session as well. She was really bringing it back to Joseph's methodology and just asked some great questions as well to bring back life into your why as a teacher.
Yes.
She had us journaling and asking us all these questions. I got lots out of that session.
Good. Yeah. I didn't listen to Kira's because I was speaking next, so I was preoccupied with making sure that I didn't mess my own talk up, basically.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you get a chance to listen back to it, it was a really good session.
Absolutely. Looking forward to the replay on that.
Cool.
When you were mentioning about the thing that you're passionate about, one of the lines you said was, talking about functional movement, first of all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the second part of that was like the functional movement so to be able to keep yourself available for life, or to life, I should
Yes.
say. Can you talk more about the functional movement piece first?
Okay, so functional movement for me is the movement patterns that help you in your everyday life. So this goes back to my recovering from that injury and just going back to the simple everyday things of walking. So, I mean, walking with ease is a privilege. It really is. For a lot of people, there's so many people out there that cannot walk with ease. They have a pain in the hip, they have a pain in the ankle, or, you know, they get back pain and when they walk. And I feel like within Pilates and the way that I see it in the way that I teach, it's really about working on those main functional elements of being able to walk with ease, being able to get up and down from the sofa, up and down from the floor. It's a longer journey to get there, but it's so worth it because it keeps your hips and your that movement of the hips available to you if you do that.
Yes.
You know, it's those things, being able to run around and play with your kids, play around with your grandkids. That for me is where you're really giving back into someone's whole life and not just to their 1 hour practice when they come and see you.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what I feel about functional movement. It's being able to do just those everyday movements for longer. Yeah.
Yes. There's
What's your second question?
Pardon?
You had a second part to that question. I'm trying to remember what that was.
Like just the way that you said about being available for life.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I touched that.
Because and it's not like being available. Like it's almost like another double entendre there. Like it's available, like to do stuff for the rest of your life, but then it's also being available to do whatever you want to do in your life.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's not even just about the daily things, but to do the things that you love, whatever that is. You know, you can be out with your dog, going for a walk, and if your dog starts to run off, you know, pulling you on the lead, you want to be able to keep up. You know, that just those simple things. Yeah. Yeah, enjoying the things that really make you come alive outside of Pilates.
Yeah, absolutely. When I was doing personal training before I got into Pilates really deep, one of the lines or stories that I heard that I used with a lot of my clients was a dad who his son was playing at a park, and like he's sitting on a bench and just yapping with some other parents, and then the kids were just playing in the field, and his little toddler started to run towards the street.
Oh man, yeah.
Right? So it was a big, huge field, so it was a long way to the street, but the kid was also pretty far off. So the dad had to run after his child, and got winded before he got to his child. And then another father ran past him, grabbed his son, you know, long before he got to the road. But that was enough of a wake-up call for the dad to be like, I have to get in shape because I could have lost my son today. Because I was
all about motivation. Yeah, it's those everyday things. Totally. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And that you know, that motivation can keep you going a lot more than, oh, I need to lose weight, or I need to, you know, get my legs, you know, a certain way. That motivation brings more longevity, right?
Yes. It makes those things seem so superficial, right? Like, I need a six-pack for the beach.
Why? Yeah, so you can take pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, I need a
you don't
six-pack.
You don't see the other side of the six-pack either. You don't, you know, someone can have a six-pack and then they go and sit down, and you have rolls when you sit down, but there's a whole side to our industry that only ever show you that six-pack length and sucked in side, which is just not healthy. If you walk around sucking your gut in all day, if you think about it, you're squeezing your organs all day long.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole side to letting your belly go, letting your gut out, and just being happy with that. Not having to prove anything to anybody.
Yes, exactly. No, it's true. Black History Month.
Yes, over here it's Black History Month in the UK.
Black History Month.
October is.
Yeah, and you're like, meh, I don't celebrate it. Every day is like.
And then Martin was asking me, are you celebrating? And I was just like, well, no, not really, because every day is Black History. You know, I I do want to come away from where we have this 1 month that we're given to celebrate Black history, when it really is everybody's history. Black history is everyone's history. I was watching this amazing documentary on the BBC recently, which was showing how everyone's DNA can be traced back to this one woman in Africa called Mitochondrial Eve. Whatever, you know, if you're white, Asian, Black, that we really have a common ancestor, everybody. And if that doesn't show you that Black history is everyone's history,
yes,
you know, yeah, fascinating. That's what I mean about going down, digging into.
No, and that is fascinating. I was talking with a colleague of mine this morning about it, and everyone's history. I had a different slant on that just because of looking at how in Canada specifically, they have been very strategic about omitting some pieces of history, whether it's about the Indigenous people, or if you look back through some of my posts, cemeteries of Black people that they've tried to wipe out, or people like Matthew DaCosta, who traveled to Canada, the first Black person to come to Canada. There's like one statue of him in the whole country, but he's the first Black person to come to Canada. Like, so there's pieces of history that have been omitted on purpose. So I was saying to my friend this morning, the reason why Black history is significant is because Canada or the US or the UK, wherever, there's times when they strategically omit pieces of our history.
Absolutely.
So we have to reinsert those pieces in. So it sounds like Black history because we're reinserting the piece that they've taken out, but it is really our history.
Yeah, so true. It is. It's happened across the board everywhere, where it's, you know, they say that the people that rewrite history own history, and you can just see that in every nation, can't you? They've rewritten it, and they've made themselves the heroes in the story and taken out all the other heroes of the stories. There are so many incredible incredible people that have done things that you have to dig to find, when it should just be fully and freely available.
Honestly,
to everybody.
Dig is a word. Like, dig. Like, they're not like
dig.
It's not like they just took it out. So, oh, by the way, it's gone. It's like it's almost like they buried it. Yeah.
But also the thing, when I was watching this documentary, was that there obviously are people there that know. They had all these historians on there that know about this history, but then also they must be holding on to that as well until they come onto a show and they're interviewed about it. Where is that knowledge that they have within their, you know, their masters or their PhD about history? They know these facts, but there needs to be more. I feel like there is, at the moment, there is more information like that is coming out, because you know, it's opened things up a lot, the current climate that we're in. But I can't wait to get to the day where I don't have to dig up things for my kids outside of school that they're not getting in school. And it's just a common knowledge, you know, across the board.
That ties into the conversation Martin and I had on Monday about allyship, because, you know, that person who has that information, they may have been, like Tasha, saying the same thing for 25 years, but no one has listened to them until someone who has a seat of authority or has a voice can amplify their voice for them. Right?
Yeah,
so
completely.
A lot more of that is happening now, which I celebrate. I like the fact that there's people that have some scope of influence that can now bring someone else alongside them and say, listen to what this person has been saying all along that you've never heard before.
Yeah, and it's sad that that's necessary and needed, but at the same time, all props to the people that are out there really shining the light to people that need to be heard, you know. Because you do need that allyship. It's a community at the end of the day. It's you need both sides to work. But the point is that those people are out there, and we need that platform. I thank you for giving me a platform today, Martin. It's so nice to have a conversation with you.
Oh, my pleasure. Like, yeah, that's like 47 minutes. Like, we've just flown through this time.
Wow.
Um,
Amazing.
so, and well, tell me about your online classes. Like, what kind of stuff do you have going on with your business right now?
So right now I teach for myself. I only really have 2 classes running. I have one in-person class, which I teach Tuesdays at 6:30 BST. And then I have an online class, which is on Wednesday mornings, and that's at 9:15 in the morning BST. So you guys are in bed when that's happening, probably.
I'm an early person. That's like 5 a.m. here, right? Like 4 hours.
That's fine. Yeah, 5:15.
Yeah, 5:15. Yeah,
You'd be awake at 5:15?
Oh, I had a client at 5:30 this morning. Oh, yeah.
Oh man, yeah, jump in, please. Yeah, if you can, come on in. So yeah, that's that. And then I also teach for a studio and another colleague of mine. So I have a few classes around, as well as some private clients. But in terms of online class, it's just that one. But I really want to add another one on as the interest comes in. Yes. I have a lot of availability during the day to teach online, and yeah, I'm available if you'd like to book me.
There you go. Nice. And what's next for your business? Do you just want to continue to go to those classes, or are you thinking like bricks and mortar at some point? Like what's the long game?
Oh man, I'd love a bricks and mortar at some point. I've been low-key trying to ask my husband if he'd go into business with me to get a Pilates studio together. I was actually talking to Marimba a little bit about that, because she has a business with her husband. You know, I feel like that's maybe the 8-year plan. I don't know, 5 to 8 year plan. Okay. We'll see how finances and things are doing, but within the next year, I definitely want to start my equipment. I want to get my reformer training, and then add on the other pieces, Cadillac and chair and all the rest of it. And then once I have my studio cert, I'd love to open a studio.
Perfect.
Yeah, keep it, you know, quite small business, family business, but
yeah, absolutely. That's
yeah.
Great. Yeah, and like as you see, like my space behind me here, like is like 200 square feet. It's a micro business within a bigger gym setting. So it's great because I have that track.
Oh, you're with the gym. Mm-hmm. I like that. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's perfect, right? Because it's a multidisciplinary space. So high octane training, and there's like chiros, athletic therapists, massage therapists, all that stuff. So we all work in an interdisciplinary fashion where we refer to one another and also the personal training floor. So, I mean, that's something to think about. Like, you know, like reach out to people that are in these threads and just connect and just listen to the different models, like learn all the different business models that are out there. It's so vast now. It's not just that, you know, London storefront, 5,000 square foot as the business model. It's so diverse now. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think this pandemic has taught us a lot about the different ways that you can run your business, right? There's a lot more than the as you said, the storefront possibility. Yeah. So yeah. James Crater was the one who really inspired me with this space. I read an article. Oh yeah. His space is like 300 square feet. And so there's an article that talks about how he uses his space in a really multidisciplinary fashion, where it's like it's multi-purpose and he does different things and workshops out of it, and it just works for him. And I was like, yes, that makes more sense to me, because I don't want to be like enslaved to trying to keep the lights on in some building and not be free to actually, you know, help people, right? Like, so that made me think about smaller, purposeful spaces. And so I'd love to chat with him about it. Okay, cool. If you can send me that article as well, I'd love to read that and maybe reach out to James. Yes, I'm all about learning from everyone's experience and seeing how you guys are doing. Nice. Any closing thoughts here in our 8 minutes that remain? Closing thoughts? No, I feel like I've pretty much said all the things. I think you've got a bit of a sense of who I am and what I'm about in terms of how I teach and my clients. And it's just been a real honor. Really nice to have this
space and chat with you, Martin. And thank you for everyone that's been on and listening and sending your comments. I appreciate your taking the time.